Hello everybody, welcome back to the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series. We're just about to jump into our grand finals of the first group of the Redemption Tournament.
That's right. One person's going to the offline finals between Trump and Savjz. It's going to be a best of 5, one more time, same exact class lines that we saw. And the winner goes to the offline finals happening June 5th to 7th here in the Burbank studios of ESL America in California. That's going to be happening in just a few weeks, and only one of these players can go through. Unfortunately, second place stays home.
They get nothing. Yeah, it's winner takes all, and they'll join the likes of Life Coach, Kalento, Kabi, and Raynad, who are the 4 players who have already qualified. So, yep. I mean, this is a pretty star-studded lineup. These guys have had a long road, too. I mean, they competed in their respective weeks of Legendary Series. Savjz took second in his week. Trump took third/fourth in his week. So
just third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't play a third place match, though.
Yeah, but it's like effectively tied for third.
Yeah. Tied for third.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. And they both had pretty good weeks, but they played a lot of matches to get to where they are.
And now they're just 3 wins away from being able to go to the finals. I'm happy either way. Savjz came last time to the ESL Legendary Series finals where he infamously dismissed a congratulatory shaking hands with Silent Storm, but then what happened was he got really upset through losing the series, ended up just denying the handshake, and then walking off stage. He ended up apologizing for it later.
Yeah.
What's interesting, he could come back, he could win it. He might be able to face off Silent Storm, who will be playing later in the Redemption Tournament, I believe in Group C, and maybe have an opportunity to get revenge there. In the process, also securing a ticket to California from Finland. That's always a nice time of the year.
Yeah, indeed. And, of course, the pleasure of bringing Savjz or whoever to the Legendary Series LAN Finals from wherever they are would not be possible without our sponsors. Of course, Plantronics and Gigabyte have joined us for Season 2 of the Legendary Series. And, I mean, you talked about it earlier. The LAN Finals is going to be kicking.
I talk about a lot of things, TJ, and some of them might be right, some of them might be wrong, but the one thing I know for sure is that the LAN will be bumping. It's going to be really fun. You guys should definitely get your tickets out. We have some fun stuff planned for people who come to the event. You don't have to just come, sit, and watch people play Hearthstone. You get to meet a lot of the players. You get to do some kind of cool activities that we have. I think I'll be hosting the event. I'm not necessarily commentating. We have actually a surprise commentary team that might be showing up there, so you guys should check it out. Good stuff all around, and hopefully we'll be able to get a lot of the more information to you soon, because I think tickets, are they on sale already?
I'm not too sure yet. We still have, I mean,
it's like $5.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. If you can't even show up $5 just to, hang out with Kalento, Life Coach, Raynad in America. That's the best part about it. There's so many offline events in Europe, in Asia, but where are the ones in America? There's actually none.
That'll be your chance.
The first one was the Press Start LAN, which was just a few miles from us here.
Yeah.
Not that many people ended up of notability. We don't have Strife Pro and Trump there, for example. But they might realistically be able to come here.
Yeah.
For these kinds of events. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to meeting anybody that does come down, and let us know what you guys think. If you guys are coming down, hit us up on Twitter. Right. Follow us at ESL Hearthstone. Use the hashtag HLS, of course, for the Hearthstone Legendary Series.
Yep.
Let us know if you have plans to come. Let us know what you think about the Legendary Series so far. Who you're rooting for to make it in the Redemption Cup. And, of course, after the series, we'll be jumping in on Twitter, joining in on some of the conversations that you guys are creating. So hit us up there.
Yep. Tweet at AzumoQT. Tell him how good he's cut up today. He trimmed his hair, trimmed his beard, all for just me, and I feel very special.
It's only for you. Everybody else, they get a trim like 2 days before, but that's it.
And you trimmed how long?
This morning. I trimmed in the bathroom right before the cast, actually.
I was with you since this morning. You've been up since 6 a.m., right?
I have, yeah.
And you drove all the way here?
Drive up to the studios.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. Gives me time to psych myself out to cast with you, man.
That's right. You just put on the... What's the Rocky music called? There's an actual name for it, right?
Rocky music?
Yeah, the Rocky theme music. Eye of the Tiger. That's what it's called.
Oh, Eye of the Tiger. Yeah.
You looked at me like I was speaking Russian or something.
No, I didn't know. I thought you meant like Rocky, as in
the adjective.
Yeah,
not the name. Gotcha.
Like being of related
rock and roll.
to rock and roll. Yeah. Instead of not
I
the
love
movie
this Rocky and roll.
Exactly.
Trump without glasses. Wow, that was really interesting.
It's looking.
And people don't recognize me without glasses sometimes. Savjz, when I first met him, he wore glasses the entire weekend. And then I met him again without glasses. It looked really weird to me.
Yeah, during the ESGN broadcast, he wore glasses in every match that he played. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together when he finally came back because people back then called him Savjz. And all of a sudden,
sometimes
I was like,
we still joke about that.
I was like, whoa, Savjz. All of a sudden, this guy comes on the scene who looks sort of like the guy that I used to know named Savjz, except he doesn't have glasses, and people are calling him Savjz.
I always thought it'd be like a cool dichotomy, like having Stefan and Steve Urkel. You know, one guy with the glasses, one guy without the glasses. I thought about doing that, actually. If I ever competed, it'd be like, you know, Frodan's the commentator with glasses, but when he comes out, he's just like, his hair's combed over, he's wearing like a white tuxedo.
What would your name be then?
I have no idea, man. There's no way to make my name cool. Let's just put that.
Because it's already cool.
Thanks.
No
Thanks. We've maxed out on the cool factor.
No problem. Oh, you could just reverse the first 3 letters of your name. You'd be Orfdan.
Yeah, there's no way to make my name cooler. We have Hunter for Trump to start things off up against Warlock for Savjz.
All right, well, this is the sort of mid-range face hybrid. I don't really know what to really call it. It's just Hunter. That's just what it is. Runs Savannah High Mains, but also runs cards like Glaive Zuka, Leper Gnome, Abusive Sergeant. So it's got a good early game, but it also has a little bit more reach, or a little bit more mid-game body stuff than a face hunter actually would. So, I mean, it's worked out well so far, but one of the matches was a mirror match. So it's hard to really say how this sort of hybrid hunter would actually do when it's tested more extensively. I'm curious to see what it's going to do against the Zoo Warlock from Savjz.
You know what I really feel like when I see this hunter? I feel like I'm looking at those shampoos that say they're shampoo and hair conditioner at the same time. And I always wonder, are you either?
Yeah.
Because they're really not. They're really not shampoo or conditioner. They don't really get the job done. They just kind of create suds in your hair.
Yeah. And then you could throw in a rag and call it soap also.
Oh man, TJ, that was really clever, man. If I was Artosis,
Sure.
If I was Artosis, I'd be cackling my head off.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, so here we go. Zoo versus Hunter to start things off. Now, Trump does have the turn 1, but the most important thing that you have to dodge is just not to fall too far behind on board. Generally speaking, though, I feel like the Hunter still does have the advantage. Generally speaking,
Yeah.
The secrets do end up becoming a big part, though. Like, part of the reason why is because Explosive Trap, there was really no way to stop it. Now that he's transitioned into this mid-range-ish type of thing with high mains and freezing traps, maybe that changes.
It's possible.
Maybe it does, I don't know.
One of the reasons why this match is so tough, though, is because the whole point of your deck is working against itself when it comes down to a race. Because you're tapping naturally to gain more cards. What are you smiling at?
But I'm
distracting.
I'm listening to what you're saying, DJ. I'm happy.
My analysis is just...
I might as well clap my hands because I know it. What's wrong with being positive about life, TJ? There ain't nothing wrong about it.
Not at all.
Stop giving me a hard time.
Well, anyways.
Kind of unfortunate that he drew this Voidwalker just slightly out of order, so that way you can contest the Leper Gnome. But he can keep that Voidwalker now. Oh, he's going to put it out. Okay, fair enough. Wants it to attract some damage. Then use the M-Gang boss.
Defender Vargas, one of the most important cards in this matchup for the Zulok player.
Yes.
Not only does it activate cards
Shut
that
down.
wouldn't otherwise be activated, but it also just creates a wall, prevents damage, buys you time to draw into bigger threats. So,
Right.
this is a big
This
power
is
play as
nasty,
well.
though. Yeah, kind of. I mean, he's got the Abusive Sergeant, though. Oh, he's got a Freezing Trap. Yikes.
Yeah.
Although, he only has he already has a Mad Scientist out, so if he only has one kind of trap, the freezing trap, then he's going to weed out the existing one, and then the other one is not as powerful. So then he's just going to go ahead and keep that in his hand, and then here.
Yeah.
If he unleashes as well, Unleash can clear the board almost effectively with the Abusive Sergeant. That's also a possibility. But Unleash the Hounds also continues to improve as Implosion gets live. Implosion is one of the ways where, you know, Zoo can fight back. Knife Juggler, Implosion.
Or just
Does a
naturally,
good job of staying the board.
or just naturally as the game progresses, Unleash the Hounds will inherently gain more value because there's most likely going to be more things on the board.
Leok does buff it to 2 damage apiece on the dogs.
Yeah.
And it looks like Trump's instead just going to go for the mana efficient play here. Better go hurry up. Trump is known to sometimes take a little bit too long.
Yeah. The green glow dissipated, so it looks like he got it all in, and he did. Oh!
He also has, oh, see, like, here's such a funny thing, too. Like, the Sea Giant is so cheap, but, you know, he's got to go for the Shadow Claim play. There's no...
Yeah. He's like dead on the board.
I mean, that's also a complete dead-on, obvious way to tell it's freezing trap. He left his only minion out isolated.
Well, even with the Shadow Flame, which is about the only way that he could possibly deal with a board like that.
Right.
Especially with Freezing Trap up.
Yeah, he's still in trouble.
He's still
Yikes.
pretty much screwed.
Oh, that's difficult.
Yeah.
Now...
Savjz looks surprised. Saying Savannah Hyman. I thought I saw Leper Gnomes.
Yeah, exactly. Leper Gnomes, Abusive Sergeants.
I thought I saw a Leper Gnome.
Where's that from?
One of those.
Looney Tunes. That's
I thought I saw a Putty Cat.
Yeah.
I felt really uncomfortable saying that for some reason.
Yeah, because you're making eye contact with me, TJ. That's why it's uncomfortable. Stop.
I'll look the other way.
You're ruining my happiness.
I'll look the other way.
4 on the Implosion. Not bad at all. Can't really afford to tap, can he? Also, he knows this is Freezing Trap. He might want to taunt that Imp Gang boss next turn.
Yeah.
That Abusive Sergeant is going to be really useful.
It's going to put him at 4 health. And he's sitting at 30.
So he has to kill him in 2 turns, effectively.
Well,
Sea Giant, Defender of Argus.
He does have the cards to do it.
Kind of, but there's an Iron Beak Owl on the other end.
Yeah.
Well, first you pop one of those, the freezing traps, right? Oh, wait, no, you want the Sea Giant to be cheaper.
I wonder.
Ooh, is there any way to, like, he's actually trying to calculate, is there any way to get Sea Giant out and make this, like, pretty efficient so that way he doesn't lose too much mana, but every other play makes the minion count less on the board.
Yeah. He's also calculating his damage, how much he could do over 2 turns. If it's actually even possible for him to win. If it's actually even possible for him to do 30 damage over 2 turns. Because just hero power.
Do you think if he had 5 health, he'd think he'd have a chance? Because he, you know, this Giant is a pretty big wall. We, of course, know there's an Iron Beak Owl, but this is all just theory.
Yeah. I mean, he could do 6 damage this turn, maximum.
So
Well, actually, 7 damage this turn, maximum, if he Defenders of Argus 2 targets that are already on the board. Because one of these imps is getting taken by Freezing Trap. So he could put him at 23 with 3, 4, 5, 13, 14, 15 damage on board, plus Power of Overwhelming Hand 19, he'd still be 4 off. I mean, he'd be on a Doomguard lethal to win next turn. But that's wishful thinking. All right, so let's count. 11 damage, 14 damage, 15, 16. He is on Doomguard draw to, well, no, because there's an owl. If nothing was removed from his board, absolutely
it's not
nothing.
that nothing we removed, just 1 damage less.
Yeah.
And remember that the High Main removes 2 power from the board.
Yep.
And he's going to play the Freezing Trap, right, just to limit the amount of damage possible.
Yeah.
Unless there was, like, Mal'Ganis. No, Mal'Ganis can't even come out because he's 8 mana.
No. Whoa.
That is so much damage. 8, 12, 13, 21. He is so close to lethal. Yeah. Oh, it's just...
He's going to hope he concedes. Wait, did we miscount? No, no way.
No, there's no way that he has it.
Trump looks quite afraid, though.
Right, if he had Doomguard. And he's going to absorb with the Void Chair, but that's going to be it. Trump takes the first one. Oh.
That's a big Void Terror, though. All right.
Better than Deathwing.
Arguable.
But, you know, that was a quick laugh shared between friends and respected peers. Trump takes the first game. Hunter. Hunter wins again. Is that an undefeated streak of Hunters?
As long as you don't count the game that Hunter lost against Hunter.
Yeah.
Which, in your logic, would be a 100% win rate.
Yeah.
Even though there was a loser.
Yeah, I guess so. And it was an exact mirror as well, so you don't even really count it as a non... Yeah, against the mirror of itself, it's not really a win rate against everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
100% today.
Yeah, it's
Not
pretty
bad.
impressive. Now, we've seen a couple different flavors. Of course, we saw the legitimate Face Hunter earlier from Chan.
Very beginning.
That
then we
was
saw...
pure Face Hunter.
Yeah, then we see this this half and half.
It's... Yeah, I don't even know what to call it.
Well, we still have the Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior for Savjz, and Trump, of course, has his Control Warrior and his Handlock. So even though these guys brought two similar classes, they take two different archetypes and approaches to the class.
Yeah.
Trump going for the more defensive control, Savjz going for the more aggressive type forms.
Yeah, that seems to be the type of play that Trump usually goes for. Savjz, hard to predict. Sometimes
That's part of what makes him a great player. I mean, the whole point is, I think as you continue to go along in the spectrum of play at the highest level of Hearthstone, and yes, there is a high level of Hearthstone, because I know everyone's kind of taking turns at it right now. But, you know, you have to be able to be flexible and have a lot of variety to your play styles. Being too predictable often is a downfall. I mean, I can go ahead and talk about Hyped from Tempo Storm. One of the big criticism against him is that he always brings Rogue and Mage somehow. And that makes him a little bit easier to counter. If you bring, like, a Control Warrior, supposedly you start off 1 or 2-0 against him if you're playing Last Hero Standing.
It was all a calculated long con by Hyped.
Well, sure.
He spent an entire year playing competitive Hearthstone, making everybody think that he can only play Mage, Druid, Rogue.
Yeah.
And now he's...
Sometimes Zoo.
Yeah, now he's just going to completely just break the mold.
He, like, brings Shaman, Priest, and Paladin.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing, Hyped?
Sweeps like 3 tournaments in a row because just nobody knows what to expect or what to predict from him. Well played, George Maganzini. Don't even look at me like that.
I want to spend a day living inside your world, TJ. Must be fascinating.
It's fantastic. It's really great. Sometimes frightening.
Well, Trump's going to go with the Handlock against the Mech Shaman. This is a matchup where also it can go very, very poorly. In fact, didn't we see this? No, it was the OTK, right?
Yeah, it was Chang.
It was OTK Warlock against Shaman, and Savjz completely demolished it.
Savjz loves this deck.
Yeah.
And they're actually... You either love this deck, or you think this deck is...
Like, terrible.
Just absolutely garbage. There's no, like, in-between. Nobody comes with this deck and says, you know what, Mech Shaman's okay. No.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. Mech Shaman is pretty specialized.
Yeah.
I personally really like this deck.
I mean,
I like a deck even more than that.
I guess that opinion could come down to, like, Fell Reaver alone as a card, to be honest.
Oh, my. This is already a very good opportunity for Trump. He has the Zombie Chatter shut down the Warding Zap-O-Matic.
There's always that, the flashback to DreamHack, the last DreamHack, where...
right, the Warding Zap-O-Matic got turn 3 kill.
Yeah. It was Firebat versus Stancifka, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you hero power here and then just let Power Mace chew up the Chow? And then go for the Pilot Shredder or Warding Zap-O-Matic afterwards? It is very slow. If you play Zap-O-Matic, you're just basically saying, I want to kill off the Zombie Chow.
Which I think is actually a pretty big deal. But I mean, you're thinking,
look
what?
At this curve from Trump.
Okay, so what are you expecting if you see Zombie Chow turn 1? Like, if he doesn't play Whirling Zap-O-Matic, he's thinking that he's going to need 2 turns to kill the Zombie Chow. He's thinking that his Whirling Zap-O-Matic is going to get Dark Bombed, and then he's going to need Power Mace also to take out the Zombie Chow. So it's sort of an investment to protect something that he's going to play later on to try and bait out whatever turn 2 removal he'd have, like Dark Bomb.
It is an interesting idea, but... Oh, Trump taps. It's like, well, he's not being really aggressive right now. He's giving me room to finally find a way to tap for some cards.
Yep.
Savjz passes, of course, no need to act on that impulse just yet. As much as you want to buff the Pilot Shredder as soon as possible, the buff doesn't even really matter until it's time for the Pilot Shredder to attack. Now it's time for some interesting choices here. Because next turn is Fire Elemental, so he wants to set that up as best as he can.
Yeah. So Lava Burst is sort of out of the question.
No matter what mech he sets up, though, in tandem with the Pilot Shredder, it's going to get eaten up by the Twilight Drake.
You can Lava Burst and Power Mace. Whirling Zap-O-Matic.
Oh, yeah, you could Lava Burst Power Mace. But that would lock up your Fire Elemental turn.
You still have plays next turn. It's not like you still have Spider Tank as a possibility.
It's also fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but...
So he opts for the Whirling Zap-O-Matic instead. I think he really just want to lock up his mana for
yeah, that's
Fire Elemental, though.
definitely the line of thinking during...
He's thinking about Hellfire, too. Hellfire would definitely be annoying, but undoable. There is Shadow Flame play here with Trump. Shut down whatever comes out. Ooh, Noyotron. Okay. Well.
The synergy.
Yeah.
That's actually... I mean, it lives up to its name.
That's
very
hilarious. I mean, now it's like if he draws like the Flame Tongue Totem, it just like ends up being a really good trade.
The Fell Reaver.
Yeah, but you got Lava Burst Power Mace this turn. And then you can start pushing damage. You need to do some damage to the face. It's like taking way too long to get this done. This game should have been like on the verge of being over.
Yeah. You said you never really played World of Warcraft, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Do you know where the Fell Reaver came from?
They came from WoW.
Yeah, I know, but like there's the very first zone in the Burning Crusade expansion. It's a Hellfire Peninsula. It's like this big barren wasteland, and the Fell Reaver is actually a giant mob that walks around the zone, that patrols around the entire zone.
Oh.
And he's so huge that if you're anywhere near him, he'll come and attack you and like one-shot you.
Oh, that's
so there's
cool.
so many people that hate Fell Reaver, not because of his implications in Hearthstone,
Because of their history
but
with
just
him?
because they bought Burning Crusade for the first time, booted it up, stepped into the new zone, ready to start leveling up, and then they get killed by Fell Reaver instantly. This giant mob that's like impossible to escape from.
I'm
There you
going
go.
to Shadow Flame this, by the way, because he doesn't want that Zap-O-Matic to do any more damage. He's got bomb after bomb.
And he's still
Speaking of
pretty
bombs.
healthy.
There is a Big Daddy Fell Reaver. Oh! Never mind. He's just going to steal its soul. Was that the second Fell Reaver burn?
It was. Second Fell Reaver was burned. It's going to be a tough matchup here for Savjz for the rest of this game. He didn't get the start that he wanted to get.
Right.
Not nearly as explosive. He's running out of cards, which is a big thing. Trump is not out of threats yet. He's got plays for like all the rest of his turns.
Right.
Doesn't even have to tap it into. Well, he could. I mean, having big bombs is not the. Can have downsides.
All right, well, Ragnaros just has to hit something of the 3/4s. That is some really bad aim. I mean, that's kind of like a public restroom.
Wait, how
aim,
much damage is
Ragnaros.
that?
Jesus.
6 plus 8, 14, 17 damage.
Yeah, but you can't leave Rag up.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
That's true. That's a huge board, though.
And it's also a really heavy hand. I actually didn't realize how
Yeah,
significant.
that's one of the things that I was contemplating on. I said, oh, that hand's great, but then I realized
Wow. That's
He doesn't have
actually really
ways to
awkward.
do with multiple targets.
15 damage right there. His best chance is just to, like, Dr. Boom.
Yeah, he doesn't even have any type of AoE.
Wow. He's like 1 mana short from being able to do anything significant. Sylvanas. Next turn, he's going to try to hopefully play like a taunt with Sylvanas and grab some board. But I think Savjz is going to win this game.
He just needs 1 point of direct damage. Or, I mean, he could just Earthshock the Sylvanas and just push through. I mean,
The alternative for Trump is to tap into something. Antique Healbot, Sludge Belcher. No,
Yeah.
Sludge Belcher would die because he has Earthshock.
you tap, you're dead, unless you draw one of those.
Antique Healbot.
Because he's got 15 damage showing on board.
Yeah.
So I think just playing Dr. Boom is the best course of action here. But Savjz is on a draw to win. That's not it.
Well, you go ham, right?
Put him at 1.
You go ham on that core.
Sick meme.
Is there any other way to do it?
Wonder.
Earthshock the face, maybe?
2 sick memes in a row. You're on fire.
Double meme. Triple meme. Over meme.
Literally was it.
Meme-tacular. Meme-tastrophe. I
No
forgot what
words.
happens after that.
No, I don't remember either.
Yeah, I play a lot of Halo back in the day.
Yeah, so did I.
Well, is he worried about dying too? I mean, there is 9 damage looking at the other end. Like Hellfire. Hellfire could kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, it's not as simple. Oh, attacking might make him lose a spider tank, hypothetically.
That's a very slim chance.
Oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. He's got to go quickly.
Yeah, and I think you gotta. All right, he's gonna trade one in here, and have a nice mix.
Okay. So he plays the Cog Master, and he opts to hold, so he doesn't enable Molten Giants. But now the bad news starts settling in. Trump just drew his Sun Fury Protector. And he's also got another Taunt Giver, so he's got 2 layers of taunts.
Yeah. Can he tap? You can tap, play Mountain Giant and Sun Fury Protector.
I mean, I think Sylvanas might be even the better play here.
Really?
He's just used Earthshock, and
true.
Sylvanas is a higher impact in terms of stealing the board. Or Molten Giant is just like a damage sponge, but Sylvanas is a damage sponge plus stealing a minion.
Yeah.
Although it could steal like a totem, so maybe you're right actually. Just sheer straight up stats value.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a 6/6 taunt that steals a minion or an 8/8 taunt with lower health?
Against Shaman? Probably 8/8. But it's tough to say.
He did just use an Earthshock.
Yeah.
Was there any merit to Savjz just going all face and just letting his opponent deal with it? There was, but it's difficult considering that Antique Healbot could ruin everything.
Yeah. So it really is a debate between
Maybe Molten Argus then. Mountain Giant?
Mountain Giant, Sun Fury.
So just the taunt. And 8/8 it is.
Yeah. The Mountain Giant, or sorry, the Molten Giant you're going to be able to play for cheaper, you know. So you might as well play the Mountain while you still can.
Crackle the Giant. For 5
Oh.
plus? For 5 plus? For 4 would be terrible. Oh! Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Savjz has some choice words for that Mountain
That
Giant.
was a mistake.
That was a mistake.
Thank you.
Oh, Trump.
Brutal.
You sly dog,
Wow.
you.
Now, Trump,
wonder.
finish him.
I wonder
Cut
what
off his head!
Trump's fatality would just be him politely bowing and then pushing somebody over.
Pointing at something, too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like Savjz is just out of fuel. How does he do this? That
probably-
crackle hitting for 4 was so painful. He's going to go for like the high stats and just control the state of the board again. Oh, boy. I got bad news for Savjz. That was like level 2. We have yet to hit the final boss.
Yep.
This was like exactly the state in Dragon Ball Z where
Yeah.
like Piccolo and Vegeta just barely defeated like the second form of Frieza. And I was like, oh, you guys are so screwed.
Yep.
That's it. You guys have no chance.
I can just
This is like stage 3.
yeah.
And of course the final stage is Jiraxis with taunts and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you know, that kind of helps.
Yeah, but at the same time, does it?
Well, right now, he's 1 damage off lethal. That's it. Good game.
That's it.
And
Wow.
Trump goes up 2-0. And Savjz is on his last life. He's going to have to 3-0 this Control Warrior deck. Now, it's not impossible. Zoo can do it for sure. He can win. Shaman could win. It's one of those definitely draws well into anything and defeats it. But then the Patron Warrior.
That's rough.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Tough as nails.
It's considered one of the strongest decks against Patron Warrior. It's
Right.
one of the couple favored decks against Patron Warrior.
Right. And that's part of the thing, too. Like, most people are playing Patron Warrior, so because they're, like, you know, taking away from the people who play Control Warrior in the classes, it makes it even, you know, people have been getting used to playing against Patron Warrior. But when you know your opponent is Control Warrior, it's, like, really difficult, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to, like, approach it the same way you'd approach any combo versus Warrior matchup, where you have to be really aggressive, hope they don't have the right combination of removal, and then press for the win.
Yeah.
This is probably looking like Trump is coming to Burbank. Just statistically speaking, beating him in 3 games with Control Warrior is going to be hard. Sometimes Control Warrior just has every single answer.
Yeah. Greetorp and I Greetorp with my moral support last week did the math on if you're up 2-0 in a series, the likelihood of you, even if you only have a 40% win rate in all 3 of the matchups that you have to face off for your last 3 matches, if you're up 2-0, you still have almost an 80% chance to win the entire series, statistically speaking.
Sure.
That's if you have a 40%. If you have a 60% win rate across all the matchups, it goes up to like 95% chance to win. So statistically speaking, Savjz is
So Hearthstone's all
screwed.
RNG.
Okay, Reynaldo.
Oh no, it's spreading! All right, Savjz is going to start off with the Shaman. Why not?
Yep.
Get to work. Cogmaster to start things off, but Trump has a weapon to begin things. He is well aware of this deck's potency. And Savjz doesn't have, well, okay, I was going to say he doesn't really have the early game start to follow up this Cogmaster well, but now with that Spire Tank, all's well that ends well, I suppose. And that is a really slow start from Warrior. No Fiery War Axe. All right. Savjz is back in business.
Yeah.
Eyebrows raised, hair combed back.
Neutral manner and pose.
Really bad news. There's Power Mace coming in. That's 9 damage the following turn. He's going to be working at 21 health.
He has Brawl, but you can tell just by the expression on Trump's face that he is not happy.
He's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, this Cogmaster's effectively done, what, 6 damage so
6
far?
damage.
He's going to do 9 damage.
It's pretty good for a 1-drop.
9 damage for 1 mana. People always complain about Undertaker, but jeez.
Undertaker at this stage would have pumped out like 40 damage. You'd be dead 2 turns ago.
This game almost is over. The Sludge Belcher Shield Mating combination might keep it alive for a while, though.
Yeah, but will it? I mean, he's got Earthshock. He's got a little bit of burn with Rockbiter. He draws into a spell like Crackle or Lava Burst. I mean, this game's all but over.
Well, if a mech pops out of that, then probably.
With me, friend.
Instead, it's somewhat of a pretty reasonable threat.
Yeah.
Power Mace, though, let me tell you about Power Mace. Power Mace is one awesome card. You drop the Mech Warper, you drop the Pilot Shredder. You know, actually, I wonder. You can even force this so that Annoytron absorbs some of the blow. Oh, I don't mind this either. Earthshock just to get past it. Goes super ham.
That's lethal.
Oh, right. Because of the buff on the Cogmaster.
Yeah, he could buff the Cogmaster plus an Annoytron. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, oh, he doesn't have a mech. There's no way he can activate his Cogmaster.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no,
he did.
I forgot that Cogmaster got +2 at that moment.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Really cool, crafty way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Savjz, I mean, that's why he throws out the Shaman. Takes a quick
Nice
win.
job. Nice job.
Turns around the momentum into partially his favor, but still got a tough road ahead of him. Trump has still 2 more chances to take a win with Control Warrior.
Control Warrior, well, that's one of the tougher matchups, generally speaking. It's like Fire War X or die. And then this matchup, if Savjz queues up the Zoo, it's kind of like the same exact scenario. It's like, get Fire War Axe, and if I don't have Fire War Axe, either hope that he has a slow start or stabilize enough with like the early game, like shield slam on a Knife Juggler, or execute on Doomguard if he ever plays it early.
Yeah.
And then realistically, we could be just going to Game 5. I like Trump's chances though going into Game 5. That's like the big deciding thing.
But
I mean, you're taking percentages of matchups as a whole, like in a whole thing. If you just go straight up 40%.
Oh yeah.
That's if both players play optimally.
Yeah. You have to look at each game individually, sort of. I was just giving a broad scope with the limited amount of time that I had to present my information.
I understand where you're coming from, though.
And I mean,
generally speaking, if they were to play in that vacuum of, because even within those percentages, it's like you have a pretty good chance of hitting correctly and sometimes misplaying.
I didn't even come up with numbers, but just like being next to Greetorp while he was talking about numbers made me feel like smarter. And it's even carrying over to this week. I just feel like above everybody else because, like I know percentages and stuff like.
Way.
Yeah, like totally.
Like way. Way. Trump's going to toss back a couple of those cards. Needs some anti-aggro. Needs that Fiery War Axe. Drawing Ysera might not necessarily be awful if he has the Blackwing Corruptor and the Fiery War Axe, but he doesn't have it.
That is awkward.
Well, both hands are a little awkward.
Yeah, but you get punished quite a bit more, I think, if you're the Control Warrior and your hand's awkward than you do if you're the Zoo. Because you can make do with an awkward hand, unless your hand is like the most awkward as it can possibly be. Like double Doomguard Mal'Ganis is your first 3 cards into double power overwhelming. But this is just rough. I mean, he has both his top end and his opening hand. His first 2 cards are the last 2 cards that he would ever want.
Savjz isn't exact. Okay, now he's got Mal'Ganis, so right now it becomes a lot bigger problem.
Yeah.
But before I was like, his hand's not terribly impressive. Yeesh.
Oh! Sorry, I felt like I had to one-up your sound. There.
Well, you did that.
Oh.
All right, so Trump's going to just hold on, silence this Void Caller, armor up. Just keep taking a little bit more damage every single turn.
Those are quite a big chunk of damage. I mean, he's sitting there taking 9 damage each turn. Well, cool Taskmaster effectively gains him the same amount of health as armoring up would be, but it also puts a body on the board.
Ooh, Defender Vargas is nasty.
He's got a lot of burn in here as well. He can even utilize Power Overwhelming with Void Terror the turn after to put on more pressure, plus put something on the board that's just super annoying to remove.
And then Trump's going to have to brawl next turn. Can he survive? If he brawls, Shield Maiden, and like say the best case scenario happens every single time, like, this cool, like the worst minion survives.
Well, Dan, the answer is no.
The answer is no, as in?
He cannot survive. He will not survive.
No, what if this Iron Beak Owl survives the brawl? Okay, never mind.
Ouch.
Okay, so what if this Defender Vargas survives the brawl?
Whoa.
Does he have enough time? Shield Maiden does give 5 life, and it's 5/5.
Yeah.
All right, middle of the road. In fact, that might even be slightly better.
Yeah, it's a 2/2 with taunt as opposed to a 2/3 without taunt. I mean, it'll protect his creatures.
He actually doesn't want to create that big of a Void Terror. because it gets big game hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So he just straight up attacks and plays Void Terror for a 5/5.
I don't even know if you do that. You might want to utilize the Haunter Creeper
Okay.
in order to get a Void Terror. Put an extra power on the board.
Oh,
Death
man.
Spite.
Death Spite's interesting. Is this the time where you can play Sylvanas? I don't know. Shield Maiden's like the more safe play. Sylvanas is a better board impact play, but he also has. It's also the point where like he might have Implosion and Sylvanas will have no impact. So I think Shield Maiden's the better bet if you have to choose between 6 drops. The thing about Death Spite is that you have an opportunity to set up an actual weapon now, and the weapon will be really important for you to make sure that you have like a strong minion that can stay on the board instead of just get bullied. I really wish you could play Sylvanas, but it's realistically like that. The threat of Implosion is just way too high.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm not sure if he feels like that's the case at all. Shield Maiden also might not be able to come down safely either. Like if he plays just Shield Maiden, then his opponent might be able to capitalize.
Between Shield Maiden, Sylvanas, and Death Spite, I think there's like merit to all those plays based on what you're going for. Like
Right.
Death Spite is the play that's gonna like have the most lines of play after for you to win. Shield Maiden is just to stop as much bleeding as you can right now, and Sylvanas is sort of the middle ground. You're sort of saying that.
Hold on.
Oh!
Just want to see this as real quick. Melgan's about to pop out and make this a 4/6. Oh.
That's nice.
All right, now he's got big game hunter though.
Yeah, but there's going to be another rather large creature that he has to deal with here. I mean, that's still a 6/7. That's a Boulder Fist Ogre.
Okay, so he big game hunters the Mal'Ganis.
And then he has
That has
mana for nothing but Acolyte of Pain.
So then he plays Acolyte of Pain, then attacks the Imp Gang boss.
Hope he
then-
draws into Execute.
Hope he draws to execute, kills off. His opponent has 1 damage on board. He's at 7 health, and then he dies to Power of Overwhelming Guard.
Either way, no matter what he does,
No, it's gonna happen. Watch.
he's dead.
I've got the beast in my
Wait, no, he doesn't even just Power Overwhelming would kill him
No.
if he doesn't draw into Execute. Ooh.
Okay, so he's taking like the ultra safe route, I guess, like armoring up. But he does die to Power Overwhelming. So
Yeah.
he's back. It's tied 2-2. His last chance was actually just that execute draw. Oh no! Is it gonna happen again? Is Trump gonna get denied?
It's possible. We're going to a game
It's
5.
happening.
This is... Trump has to be feeling at least somewhat confident. Now,
Yep.
the thing about being up 2-0 and then falling and then bringing it to a game 5, if you're the player that was up 2-0 in the beginning, Hearthstone's there's a lot of mental fortitude involved when competing at the highest level of Hearthstone. You have to really be able to not let the momentum of your opponent tilt you or affect you. I've seen a lot of cases where a player goes up 2-0, loses the next 2 games, and even though they have a favorable deck going into the last match, they make suboptimal plays because they just feel like the pressure's on them more so than it's on their opponent, who was down 2-0. I got nothing to lose. Let me just play for kicks, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
So that's why, I mean, I don't have any statistics to back this up, you know. So we'll just go ahead and say 9 out of 10 times.
God.
I'd say the player that, if a player goes up 2-0, then loses the next 2 games, they're pretty likely to lose the final one. 9 out of 10 times.
I'll bet 9 out of $10.
That's just
That
$9. Why can't you just say $9?
I'll bet that much that you're wrong.
Yeah, it's not really a statistic. I just made that up. But I feel in my heart, I
Really?
feel in my heart of
You had
hearts.
me. You had me, man.
I feel in my heart of hearts that the player, that momentum plays a huge role in things like this.
All right. Savjz has the combo Patron Warrior. Trump has the Control Warrior. What are some of the keys to victory on both sides here?
Brawl is one key to victory for the Control Warrior. But just generally controlling the pace of the game earlier. Drawing a lot, gaining a lot of armor. I think that's against combo decks in general. The more cards you draw, the more life you gain.
Ooh,
That's
Harrison
big.
Jones.
Yeah. But as far as the control warrior goes in this matchup, there's not like too much that really goes into it. I mean, it plays like a standard. Control warrior always has like linear goals. Like everything always lines up the same way. There are some matchups where you play control warrior where you have to play it slightly different. But it's always like, oh, you're trying to draw as many cards as possible, gain as much life as possible, and then eventually draw into your big threats and win. Like, that's the linear path of Control Warrior. And in this matchup, it works sort of the same way. There are some weird things that you have to play around. But generally speaking, aside from not leaving as many one damage or 2 damage creatures on the board as possible going into turn 8, it plays pretty straightforward. I think the onus is really on the Grim Patron Warrior to piece together combos in order to pressure enough. Like, you can't just throw out your important threats willy-nilly in this matchup. You have to sort of be really patient, be really conservative with your cards like Frothing Berserker and Warsong Commander, and then set up large turns later in the game.
Was that too greedy of Trump to drop the Acolyte opponent? His opponent could have coined out Deathspite as well. I think Trump just wanted to draw. Also, it's one of those things where the Acolyte does become a liability the longer it stays on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes back to the point I was making about not leaving 1 damage creatures on the board. Trying to get as much value out of Armorsmith and Acolyte of Pain early on. So that way your opponent can't leverage those for Grim Patron turns later on.
Tough decision from Savjz. Oh, what were you going to say, TJ?
No, I was just going to think out loud.
Go ahead.
No, that's dangerous. My thoughts going into the wind?
Okay. Well, I like that Savjz was thinking about holding, and he did holding the Dread Corsair because it's a really easy tempo play to make a lot of times.
Yeah.
But you know, many times you're just considering that what your opponent could do on their turn. So turn 4 is Deathspite. If he did, he'd be able to kill it, collect value, and you don't really get Deathspite protecting anything. The Deathspite's supposed to make it so it's really inconvenient to get to like both Grim Patron Warriors that spawn at the same time.
Yeah.
On the opposite end, Savjz is going to be in big trouble when his opponent drops Harrison Jones.
Yeah. I'd like to give a couple tips to Patron Warrior players out there.
Okay.
As a sort of an education here. Dread Corsair is like you said, making the tempo play can sometimes be really dangerous. You want the biggest thing about Dread Corsair is that it gives you pretty much a free instant card draw out of Battle Rage. I thought he left. Yeah. That's rough. He's very sad.
That was right in the kisser.
Yeah. There goes my education.
Don't worry, you would have been majorly in debt anyways. Execute being drawn, not too impactful, but that 5-4 body, or 5-3 I guess, that was devastating. Savjz really needed that Deathspite Whirlwind effect. Looked like he threw up a little bit inside. I don't blame him. Also, I think Trump has enough removal where he can handle any infestation of Grim Patrons.
Yeah. Brawl, Shield Slam, Execute.
Times 2.
Times 2.
Even pick off one of the 3/1s with a cool Taskmaster.
But you still need to get to the point where you're going to close out the game yourself. I mean, I guess he'll eventually draw into his threats, but he's got no pressure. None.
He could just pass. But there's no onus for him to necessarily try and end the game soon.
Yeah, but if he doesn't draw into enough, well, yeah, I guess he's got quite a bit of time.
Remember that one game we saw a couple weeks ago? Where it was one, like...
Grim Patron Warrior versus
Yeah.
Control Warrior.
And the Control Warrior just kept... I think it was Chalky. Just kept armoring up and playing.
Never played a creature.
Yeah, he just never played a creature. Just kept armoring up.
That's a hard call to make, though, to not play a single creature. You have to calculate exactly how much damage it's going to do.
He just played Big Game Hunter. Is that going to prompt Savjz to go for just Coin Dr. Boom and then...
There's no reason not to be honest.
Yeah, but he's got removal anyways. Like, he's got Execute. I'm actually a little surprised that Trump went to go so aggressive onto the board.
Yeah.
But He's got so much. He's got Shield Slam. No problem. Question is, do you think Big Game Hunter will stay alive to atone for his sins?
No.
Or will the Boombots get revenge?
Boombots will indeed get revenge for having their master killed. It's just yeah, it's just likely. 9 out of 10 times.
Gosh.
Epic meme. Overused. I'm sorry, Dan. I let you down.
Ah, TJ, you did just fine, son. Spoombot hit the face for 1 and kills off the Big Game Hunter. Getting close to that inevitable combo. And if I'm Savjz, I don't mind keeping that 2-2 alive.
Yeah. All right, so here's what's playing through Savjz's mind right now. This is one of the reasons why this deck is so hard, especially against Control Warrior. It's because there's so many things that you have to play around every single turn. And you have to try and piece together a win in a very creative way. Not even necessarily a creative way, but pretty much your win condition in this matchup is double frothing, Warsong Commander, and then multiple whirlwind effects to try and get a one-turn kill. It's the same with Priest, essentially. This matchup against Priest and this matchup against Control Warrior, it's just since Control Warrior can go above 30 health, it makes it that much harder.
Right.
You basically just, you use as much of your cards as you can to try and control the state of the board as much as you can. But in reality, you're trying to be as conservative as possible with a lot of your combo pieces, just so you can piece together huge turns later on. Instead of like 3 bursts of medium to large size turns, like mostly Grim Patron Warrior does, you're saving up for like 1 huge burst of a turn with Frothing Berserkers.
Makes sense.
And that's how you win. And that case that you made before with Chalky, he played around that perfectly. Literally at the end of the game, the only thing he did was armor up every turn. Didn't even play a single creature. He knew how much damage could possibly be done. It was Chang against Chang. He knew exactly how much damage could be done, and he said if I play a creature, it's going to give him an extra damage on each of his Frothing Berserkers, which could kill me. There's no reason for me to have to play any cards.
Yep, fair enough.
See if Trump can make that read too. If it gets to that point. It may not.
It's still a while. He's got Brawl and Execute, so he can guaranteed kill off whatever comes out. And, well, Savjz could start drawing some cards.
How many resources does he want to use to draw those cards, though? It's a weird situation where, in order to draw more cards, you have to spend more cards.
Right.
It's how much does he value the cards that he does have.
Grim Patron and, well, the second Warsong Commander is the key, right? You don't want to.
Yeah.
You'd rather toss that first Grim Patron, Whirlwind it a couple times, than Battle Rage.
Yeah. But you also need to save Whirlwind effects. He's been through both Death Spite, right?
Just one, just one.
Okay, just one. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure that he has at least 2. I think at least 2 Whirlwind effects for later in the game.
Grim Patron, Inner Rage, Whirlwind, Battle Rage. You can't fit into Armorsmith, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, that's 3 cards. It's not too bad.
It's excellent. Because you can build up a pretty strong board.
Yeah. Yeah,
Might even pick up like another Battle Rage. And then that could be really key later on. Of course, this is dependent if Trump even wants to let those live. He definitely feels a little uncomfortable letting any of those live for a significant time, but he can, let's see.
just brawl.
He'd Brawl right now. Is there a way he
Both
can
Grim
get away
Patrons
with
have
that
been
using
used.
it? Oh, both of them?
Yeah, right?
Are you sure?
No.
I'm pretty sure only one has.
Okay.
But like, you know, basically whichever one survives is going to die anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm crazy. Yeah.
I feel like he has more Grim Patron is like one more.
Okay. Yeah. I'll believe you.
He definitely has Frothing Berserkers.
Oh, yeah. We haven't seen Frothing Berserkers yet. And there is one. Speak of the devil.
Okay, so you know your opponent also has like Execute. Use both Shield Slams.
So
He needs to draw. Would he be willing to use Battle Rages for 1 card? He could use Gromosh for 2.
Yeah, but I don't know if you want to. How does that make? I don't know. Just throw your.
Because eventually
Gromosh
you
into
get
a-
Whirlwind number 2, right? So you can get Whirlwind number 2.
Yeah, you throw Grom.
Oh, he can toss in Warsong Commander with the 2 Armor Smiths.
That's his second
and
Warsong
then Battle
Commander,
Rage. Yeah, that's 7, 9, and he has 3 chances to get Execute. No, but then Warsong just dies to the weapon.
Yeah,
Fire
then,
War Axe.
then he has no way to win, virtually. I think without Warsong Commander, this matchup isn't...
Made to
Like, without Warsong
Right.
Commander in the late game, this matchup is impossible.
Made to fit.
So
I mean,
just plays
it's hard
the
as it
Armor
is.
Smiths now and just pass.
Yeah. Because you don't want to use Grom either, because you're just throwing a Grom into a Sludge Belcher that you aren't even killing.
Oh my.
Ugh, I really don't like that.
He's gonna use Gromosh as the other problem.
Yeah, yeah. But in reality, the Frothing Berserker should be doing more damage than the Grom. If you want to win. It sort of has to.
I mean, that's a really good point. It needs to be doing some major burst damage.
Yeah. Usually like 15 plus.
Grom is a really interesting draw here because it's pretty much his only play outside of just being super defensive. Yeah, I think shutting down one of the Armor Smiths is fine. You definitely need to take care of that Frothing, though.
Yeah.
It might go down to an opponent's Execute, but it's okay because, again, it's like the same concept. Your opponent's just running out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Also, Trump ends up giving a little bit more armor, but it's inconsequential. Now, a lot of people are like, why did you kill the Armor Smith first? Because the Frothing Berserker would have done way too much damage, guys.
Yeah. It would have put his Grom at 4 instead of, or yeah, 5 health instead of 7 health, which is a pretty big deal.
Now he battle rages, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to execute or deal with that Grom.
It's looking pretty grim. Looking pretty grim for Savjz here.
Yeah. Execute onto your opponent's Gromosh. Chop that Armor Smith down with the axe. And Shield Maiden. This is looking like a Trump victory.
The one thing that you have to keep in mind is Trump is just about out of cards.
I can take the hit.
If Savjz finds
That's
a way,
another thing too.
if Savjz finds a way to deal with this board, which is possible if he can draw, he needs. What is there? 1 execute in those last 6 cards? He's got 6 cards remaining. One of them being an execute, one of them being a Frothing Berserker.
Yeah. I think he's worried about dying to like Alex Straza.
Yeah. I think you have to draw.
Played both Acolytes with the Warsong Commander.
Well, I was thinking just. No, I was.
It's
Yeah, I
almost
guess.
desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Yep.
Forward. Let the
That's
pain
true.
speak to me.
I mean, at this stage, when the Warrior's out of cards, you can effectively win over a
Needs
couple turns.
execute. Cool Task. Cool Task is another card. You can play the Acolyte, Cool Task it, Enrage it, kill off the Shield Maiden. Oh no, you don't have enough mana. Oh gosh.
This has. Well, no, he has one. He's gonna have one more draw if he attacks in. Frothing Berserker.
Oh jeez.
Does he even have another execute in there? He's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the enter button turned green. He's still not dead yet. 17 damage.
You're right in the sense that he might be able to outpace him if he's not drawing enough cards.
Yeah, I mean, these cards are,
Very
aside from the
explosive.
execute, yeah, the cards that Savjz has in his hand are explosive. The cards that Trump has in his hand are pretty underwhelming, aside from maybe the execute.
Right. But he doesn't have to execute this 1/2 now. He can just silence it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he wants to kill off this Warsong Commander.
But he also wants that 10 damage from Grom to go to face.
Yeah, so you can do that and then Cruel Task and then execute. Right?
Okay, yeah. You set up lethal next turn. You're left with your opponent with a silence 1/2 on the board. You have a, you do 15 damage, put him at 10. You have a Cruel Taskmaster, Grom, as well as a Shield Maiden.
Mm-hmm. And an Owl.
And an Owl. You have no
Every
cards.
little damage counts.
Yep.
I think going all in here is okay. I think if Trump's like worried about Sludge Belcher from the opponent, like that could be problematic if he like drops, if he happens to draw Sludge Belcher as like his last card that he just drew off Acolyte, and then he has Execute. It's like Sludge Belcher, Execute. Oh wait, you're out of cards. Oh wait, I'm pressuring you. I win.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gut wrench time, or gut check time. Excuse me, gut wrench. He executes the Acolyte. Doesn't even want it to be around anymore. Silences the Warsong Commander.
All right. Well,
he keeps the Cruel Taskmaster just in case for the emergencies. And executes drawn. So there's a glimmer of hope.
wow.
There's a very small glimmer of hope.
Wow.
I mean, Savjz had 4 or 5 cards remaining, so the fact that he wouldn't be able to get Execute would be quite astounding this deep into the deck. But it is a second Execute.
Yeah, I think he has 3 cards remaining after this Execute. One of them being a Grim Patron.
One of them is a Grim Patron.
He knows that there's 1 card in Trump's hand. He's been through both Executes, both Shield Slams, Brawl.
He might want to protect the... He might want to like see what it is first and then play the Emperor Thorson. But Frothin' Berserker is the right choice because he gets most damage. Talk about gut wrench time. It is. And also, he should maximize his damage by using both of his Cruel Taskmasters, right?
Yeah.
My blade be thirsty. Back to work.
Oh, man.
He's setting it up.
He has to do over 50 damage in 2-3 turns.
Yeah, but how does Trump come back? Trump doesn't have Grom, doesn't have Brawl,
Just
doesn't have
Gorehowl.
Executes.
Gorehowl and end it. Does he have Gorehowl?
How is he going to end it with Gorehowl?
I don't know. Tell me.
He can't. I mean, this very well, unless Trump draws into something that can really contest the board like Sylvanas.
I'm almost out of
Oh, wait.
cards.
He's almost out of cards. I mean, at this point, Emperor Thorson is just a 5/5 body. Okay, so he's going to do at least 9, 13. Oh, man, I need a calculator.
All right, this turn you talking about?
Well, he's thinking about like what he can maximize his damage in right now.
Well, he could attack into the Shield Maiden and Whirlwind.
Right.
Or Whirlwind first. If he
Right.
Whirlwinds first, his Frothin' Berserker is going to gain 5 damage. It'll be at 12.
And
so
then he
could do
kills off the Shield Maiden.
Yeah. So he could do 20 damage this turn.
Oh, my sweet lord.
Yeah.
This isn't happening, TJ.
This is insane. Because next turn, he'll be able to do, let's see, he'll have 17 damage from this turn. So he'll put him at, what, effectively, okay, so 36 health. He has 19.
Oh, man, that's kind of hilarious.
The
Fiery War Axe.
it might win.
It might win the game because this
The
is...
last card, I think, is a Grim Patron.
Oh, you're right. So he's got one more way to activate it.
Yeah. Unless I put my faith in you and you were wrong.
Dude, that's 30 damage from a Frothin' Berserker.
That's pretty
I'm pretty
intense.
sure it's Grim Patron. If not, it might be just a weapon instead.
It is Grim Patron.
It is. Faith rewarded, TJ. Also, Savjz is going to take fatigue damage. I'm not sure it's going to be relevant this game, but it's one of those things where you have to be mindful of it.
Wow. This one's going to come down to the wire. Sludge Belcher.
That's pretty huge.
That's gigantic.
I mean, the quality of draws in general.
He just needs to buy time. I mean, even like Alex Straza drawn at this point to bring himself back up to 15. Literally,
That's
he
right.
just has to survive for like, what, 4 more turns?
So, yeah, Savjz might just run out of damage.
Yeah.
Sludge Belcher is pretty big. And now, okay, so basically he's now he can go in for the Grim Patron, but he's taking some damage. Don't forget.
He can send the Grim Patron for the jugular.
Dude. 4 damage has to go to the face. Let's come down to this. And he's also, like, it's going to be 11 damage next turn, and his opponent has to take it over the course of 2 turns, but he can cut it off at 5 for the Thorzen. Savjz needs 3 turns, which means Trump has to whiff on the next 2 draws, or else it's over. Savjz wins in 3 turns.
Yeah.
But 2 draws is very likely for Trump to pick up something. Sylvanas.
Oh.
And I think that's it.
That's it.
He can't actually kill him in time.
No,
Savjz came really close. Really, really close. But,
was a nail biter.
It was just way too much armor gain.
I mean, Trump had so many ways out. I mean, he had even just an Alex Shiraza draw. Another Sludge Belcher.
Right.
Yeah, he just needed to buy a couple turns, and you can see the life slowly start to drain out of Savjz's face as he realizes.
The realization that he's not coming back to California, not for this season, but he
Nope.
came one game away from it. But guess who else is coming instead?
Good old Trump.
The mayor himself tucks Savjz into bed. It's nighttime for EU.
Wow.
You got tucked by Trump.
And there you have it. Trump will be your 5th player, joining Kalento, a life coach, Kabi, and Raynad.
Well, it was quite the roller coaster ride throughout that series.
Yeah.
But Trump ended up being able to stabilize, weather the storm, and advance to the finals happening in June 5th to 7th. He's going to be trekking all the way from San Jose.
Is that where he lives, really?
Yeah, so for
Okay.
people who don't know, that's a 1-hour plane ride.
Yeah, yeah.
6 hours by car, but, U.S., whatever. It's kind of like no big deal. You just fly.
ESL Studios is a very exotic world, though.
It is. We have our own B letter in the mountains for Burbank, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we also have the nice little desert. The tumbleweeds are quite exquisite.
Very well put. Very well put.
What
Yeah.
a fun set of games today, man. And it was only the first day out of 4 for the Redemption Tournament. 1 spot given away today, another tomorrow, and 2 more on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so that's going to be, we have 3 more players from the Redemption Tournament, and then, of course, 8 players from that Last Chance Open. And the Last Chance Open, of course, will be a big open bracket that's going to take place the next week, or the week following this weekend, I believe. Any player in North America is eligible to participate. The top 8 players from that Last Chance qualifier bracket will be joining us at the LAN as well.
We
So-
have 8 players that are going to be figured out after the broadcast's finished, but
Yeah.
we are getting 8 more players into the finals as a last call. How do they sign up, TJ?
Yeah, you can head to legendaryseries.com.
Right.
And
.com.
Yeah, legendaryseries.com actually redirects you to like play.esl
Right.
gaming.
So if you're in North America and you want to get one of the 8 spots, go to legendaryseries.com. They're doing this so that way they can give away world championship points. You have to have 8 open and 8 invites, I guess. But the invites are getting through qualified process, so it's a little bit murky. But either way, a lot of spots, are being given away. So make sure, again, legendaryseries.com. If you're in North America, sign up for the qualifier next week, and we'll see you at the LAN as well.
Yeah, the reason why it's North America only is because since it's about the Last Chance qualifier would take place about 1 week out from the LAN finals, due to like flight visa restrictions, we won't have time to get anybody outside of North America to Burbank in time for the LAN finals. So that's why it is only available to North American players. But we figured we'd give them a chance since they have all the DreamHack stuff that's a lot more accessible.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So what happens now, TJ?
Well, we're waiting on an interview with our winner.
We get to talk to Trump.
We will get to talk to Trump, but I guess we can take this opportunity in the meantime to thank our wonderful sponsors who make all of this possible. Plantronics and Gigabyte have hopped along for the ride for Season 2 and are making a lot of this stuff possible, are making a lot of the stuff we do, the Legendary Series LAN Finals, being able to fly all these players out. It's going to be a 16-player LAN, which is huge. It's pretty massive. Last season was 8 players, and it seemed awesome and relatively extravagant. But this season's going to be even better. It's going to be top-notch. It's going to be kicking. What'd you call it?
I said bumping.
Bumpin'.
Yeah.
And we would not be able to have a Bumpin' LAN Finals without Plantronics and Gigabyte. So big shout-out to those guys.
All right. And, of course, guys, stay in the conversation as well. Hashtag HLS on the social media. Tweet at ESL Hearthstone and let us know what you guys think about those series of matches. Congratulate Trump at TrumpSC, or tell Zumo what a great job did he cast today at AzumoQT, and stay engaged with us on social media. Because the more you guys tweet about this kind of stuff, the more they can show the sponsors and the things like, oh yeah, this is how many people care about the event. Just like a viewer matters in terms of if you're watching or not. Social media engagement does matter too. I know a lot of people might feel like that's not really that important if I tweet about it or go on Facebook, but it is. Those people see it. They see that you care about the product, and as a result, they're more willing to go for events like this.
It enables us to do some really cool stuff. But I think we do have Trump ready for an interview, so why don't we kick it over to that Hey, Trump, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, first off, big congratulations. Are you excited to join us for the LAN finals?
Oh man, I'm super excited.
That's nice, man. That's really good to hear. I just want to get your insight on your deck choices real quick for the tournament today. A lot of players actually brought the same decks. They brought like Warlock, Hunter, Warrior. Just go into each of your decks briefly and explain your thought process and why you brought it.
Okay. On the topic of handlock, I expected. Basically, I brought 3 decks which were really good against Patron Warrior. That was my main goal, and I expected a lot of people to bring Patron Warrior. And I also brought decks which were generally good against Zoo as well. That was the general plan.
Were people playing a lot of decks that you expected? I know you said Patron Warrior, but as far as like the mid-range Face Hunter hybrid, where did this whole anomaly come from?
All right, the mid-range Hunter hybrid, I played that as well, and I have to thank my late-night browsing of competitive Hearthstone Reddit for that. I read that deck's been going around, it's had good results, so I just kind of blindly trusted it and went with it. It's a really good
Sounds
deck.
good.
Yeah.
And then he qualified for a 25K land. Not bad.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Do you remember the player's name who posted the mid-range Face Hunter hybrid deck? This is actually a trivia question. What was it?
I do. I give credit where credit's due. So Party Platypus was the one who posted it, but it is Prototype's list.
Okay.
So the thing is, TJ said the guy who introduced it was Iced Fat. And I was like, that's not his name. And he's like, yes, it was.
Maybe I mixed it up. I think Ice Fat
Right.
might have been Ice Fat might have been the player who played
Ice Fat is
Stranglethorn Tiger.
actually TJ's Smurf account name. People don't know that. It's actually his
I'm just trying to
secondary
give
battle tag.
credit to myself. No, but
Well, it's cool to have you, Trump, man. I know you haven't been able to go to too many events so far. You've been, hanging home, holding out America for it. But it's going to be really good to have you. Is there anything you're looking forward to doing while you're in LA that you haven't gotten to do last time you came for BlizzCon or something?
I'm just looking forward to meeting everyone who's going to be attending the event. Should be a really good Hearthstone event. I'm very happy that it's in California. And
Yeah.
you guys are very happy that it's in California.
We are.
That I'm in California.
Yeah.
It's all good.
yeah.
Yeah. Our piggy banks are safe. Thank you, Trump. You did it for the kids. You never met Life Coach, have you, Trump?
Huh. I don't think I've somehow never gotten to an event with him, so I look forward to that.
Well,
Look
that's
forward
gonna
to
be really
just meeting all
interesting.
the Hearthstone players again. In good old LA. All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right, Trump. Do you have any final shout-outs that you want to make to any of your fans or sponsors or anything?
Yeah, I mean, TSM, Wandered, Ray, us. Big thank you to Protohype for coming up with a great list for me to copy pasta. Thank you, thank you.
Alrighty. Well,
Thank you, all of you, for continuing to watch Trump.
There it is.
Indeed. All right.
The
Well,
mayor has spoken.
thank you, Trump, and congratulations. We'll be seeing you here at the beginning of June.
All right, well, that was Trump, the winner of day 1 of the Redemption Tournament. 4 days of high-packed Hearthstone action, and we're already a fourth of the way done. Trump beat Savjz, and that was a really close series, and I think that was like the pinnacle of the excitement. So I think it's going to be really hard to top day number 1, but tomorrow we've got some amazing players, TJ.
Indeed. I wonder if we can bring up the group back again, but Chalky, Cross 7224. Man, I don't even have the player.
Strife Crow.
Strife Crow. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty action-packed day tomorrow. Oh yeah, there we go. Modern Leopard, Bunny Muffins, Lead Paint, and GCT Turth. So that should be really exciting. I mean, Chalky and Strife Crow are two of the players that have had some really good results lately, and we saw some really exciting play from a lot of the open bracket players that you saw in the bottom half there. So it should be a really exciting day tomorrow, and of course throughout the weekend as well. Trump, this day is going to be hard to top with, of course, the exciting finals between Savjz and Trump, and of course, Chang's decks are always a pleasure to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad. that Chang did not win. Whenever I say Chang, I think of Chang from Community, like Senor Chang. But he was not able. Chang was not able to advance today. He was another fan favorite of mine, at least. And we've had a really good list of competitors so far, but overall, anyone who gets through to the finals is going to be great. We already have Kalento, who won the first week, Life Coach, who won the second week, Kabi won the third, and Raynad, who won the fourth. Really good list of players, and then Trump joining them. That's just, people would be like, oh man, ESL invited players again. It's like, no, these guys actually went through the qualification process of getting, and it was really tough.
Had to win quite a few matches. But again, we will return tomorrow at the same time, 1 p.m. PST. For myself, from Frodan, from everybody here at ESL, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.